Hi every wise reader. Welcome to the next video from Read Wiser, a YouTube channel dedicated to helping you improve yourself through books. Join us as we explore the profound insights of Homo Deus by the renowned Yuval Noah Harari. What happens after humanity conquers its ancient enemies, famine, plague, and war? For millennia, these were the forces that shaped our lives, prayers, and societies. But Yuval Noah Harari argues that in the 21st century, we've largely turned these existential threats into manageable problems. So, what's next on our agenda? Harari suggests we're setting our sights on something far more ambitious, overcoming old age and death itself, achieving lasting happiness, and upgrading ourselves into something akin to God's, Homo Deus. This isn't science fiction, it's the potential trajectory, driven by our current values and accelerating technology. But what price might we pay for godhood? Homo Deus picks up where Harari's previous bestseller Sapiens left off. Having traced humanity's past, Harari now turns his gaze to our future, exploring the implications of our newfound power. He begins by establishing how, for the first time in history, more people die from eating too much than too little, from old age than infectious disease, and commit suicide than are killed by soldiers, terrorists, and criminals combined. Having largely subdued nature's traditional threats, we're now driven by the core tenets of modern culture, particularly humanism, which values human life, happiness, and power above all. This leads us to pursue immortality, bliss, and divinity. However, Harari argues that this pursuit involves a fundamental trade-off, what he calls the modern covenant. We agree to give up the belief in a grand cosmic plan that gives life meaning, in exchange for unprecedented power. But as we develop technologies capable of reshaping humanity itself, this covenant and the humanist values underpinning it face unprecedented challenges. Let's explore how Harari maps out this potential future, starting with humanity's new goals. Harari opens by outlining what he calls the new human agenda. For thousands of years, famine, plague, and war topped our list of concerns. We prayed, invented, and organized, yet millions continued to die from starvation, epidemics, and violence. Many concluded these were inescapable parts of the human condition, perhaps even God's plan. But in the last few decades, Harari argues, we've transformed these from uncontrollable forces into manageable challenges. We generally know what needs to be done to prevent them, and failures are seen as human screw-ups, not acts of God. Consider famine. More people now die from obesity than malnutrition. International efforts usually prevent starvation even after major disasters. Plagues like smallpox have been eradicated, and even new threats like SARS or Ebola are contained relatively quickly thanks to modern medicine. Wars, too, are disappearing. Violence causes only about 1% of global mortality today, compared to 15% in ancient agricultural societies. Sugar is now more dangerous than gunpowder. This new peace makes war between major powers almost inconceivable, thanks to nuclear deterrence and knowledge-based economies where conquering territory is less profitable than collaborating. So, with these old enemies subdued, what replaces them? Harari identifies three interconnected goals rising to the top: immortality, happiness, and divinity. The fight against death becomes a technical problem, not a metaphysical mystery. We view death as a glitch caused by things like heart failure or cancer, technical problems that might have technical solutions. Companies like Google's Calico are explicitly trying to solve death. The second goal is achieving happiness or bliss. If we're going to live longer, or even forever, we want that existence to be enjoyable. This isn't just about avoiding misery, but achieving positive contentment. However, happiness seems to hit a glass ceiling. Despite unprecedented prosperity and comfort, subjective well-being hasn't risen proportionally. Harari suggests this is because happiness depends on expectations matching reality, and expectations rise with conditions. Biologically, happiness is linked to biochemical algorithms rewarding survival-conducive behavior with fleeting pleasure. Achieving lasting happiness might therefore require manipulating our biochemistry. Finally, The pursuit of immortality and bliss inherently involves upgrading humans into godlike beings, Homo Deus. Overcoming aging and misery requires godlike control over our own biology. This upgrade could happen via biological engineering, rewriting DNA, cyborg engineering, merging organic bodies with non-organic devices, or creating entirely non-organic beings. Harari stresses this isn't necessarily a good path, but it's the likely direction given our current humanist values, which sanctify human life, happiness, and power. Acknowledging our past achievements gives us hope, but also responsibility. If famine, plague, and war decrease, something else will take their place on our agenda. So, humanity has largely managed its historical challenges, setting the stage for audacious new goals rooted in technology and a belief in human potential. But Harari cautions this is a prediction based on current trends, not a fixed destiny. History doesn't tolerate a vacuum. Understanding these potential new pursuits is crucial. How did we even get the power to contemplate such goals? That requires understanding our unique place in the world. Let's find out in the next chapter, exploring how Homo sapiens conquered the planet. In Part 1, Harari examines how Homo sapiens conquered the world, creating what scientists call the Anthropocene, the epoch of humanity. This dominance isn't just recent. Even Stone Age sapiens drove other human species and numerous large animals to extinction, radically altering global ecology long before agriculture. How did we do it? Harari argues it wasn't due to a unique soul. Science finds no evidence for one in humans any more than in pigs, nor was it simply superior consciousness or individual intelligence. While animals likely possess consciousness, subjective experiences, and emotions rooted in biochemical algorithms crucial for survival and reproduction, these aren't uniquely human. Our dominance stems from a specific cognitive ability that emerged around 70,000 years ago: the capacity for large-scale, flexible cooperation. Other social animals cooperate, but rigidly, like bees, or only in small groups based on personal acquaintance, like chimps. Sapiens alone can cooperate flexibly with countless strangers. This ability, Harari famously argued in Sapiens and reiterates here, is built on our unique capacity to create and believe in shared fictions or intersubjective realities, things like gods, nations, money, laws, and corporations that exist only in our collective imagination. These shared stories allow millions who don't know each other personally to follow the same rules, trust one another, and work towards common goals. Wolves understand objective reality, trees, rocks, and subjective reality, fear, desire. But sapiens live in a triple-layered reality that includes these imagined orders. A chimpanzee can't convince thousands of other chimps to build a pyramid by promising them bananas in chimp heaven. But humans can. These fictions aren't just quirks. They are the glue holding together our cities, kingdoms, and global networks. Our ability to weave these webs of meaning allowed us to outcompete Neanderthals, build empires, and eventually develop science. The agricultural revolution intensified this, allowing larger populations and providing justification for exploiting domesticated animals through new theist religions that placed humans, not animals, at the center of a divine plan. Animals became property, their subjective needs ignored as long as their survival and reproduction served human desires. Humans became masters, justified by stories that rewrote the cosmic script. Thus, our conquest wasn't achieved by individual superiority, but by collective ability fueled by imagination. We dominate because we are the only animal that can create and believe in fictions. But how did these fictions evolve? And how did one particular fiction, humanism, come to dominate the modern world? Let's explore that as we move into Part 2. Part 2 delves into how Homo sapiens, having conquered the world through collective fictions, proceeded to give meaning to that world, culminating in the rise of humanism. Harari explains that while hunter-gatherers lived within small local webs of meaning, the agricultural revolution created the material basis for larger networks. However, early farmers were limited by the data processing capacity of the human brain. The invention of writing and money, around 5,000 years ago, broke these limitations. Writing allowed complex information laws, taxes, histories, myths, to be stored externally, enabling the creation of vast kingdoms and complex bureaucracies. Money created a universal system of trust and exchange between strangers. These tools allowed fictional entities like gods, acting like early corporations, and pharaohs, akin to personal brands, to manage huge societies algorithmically. Reality itself began to be shaped by written records. What was written down became more important than objective truth, as seen in examples from ancient Egypt to modern bureaucracies. Holy scriptures became the ultimate texts purporting to describe and dictate reality. Then came the scientific revolution, which Harari frames not simply as a rejection of religion, but as the formation of a new alliance, the modern covenant. Humanity agreed to give up belief in a grand cosmic plan that provided meaning, accepting that the universe is purposeless. In exchange, we gained unprecedented power through science and the pursuit of perpetual economic growth. Science provided the means, power, but couldn't answer questions of value and meaning. This is where humanism stepped in. It offered a way to find meaning within the purposeless universe by locating the supreme source of meaning and authority, not in gods or scriptures, but within human experience itself, our feelings, desires, and thoughts. The new commandment became, create meaning for a meaningless world by looking inside yourself. This led to new formulas for knowledge. Ethical knowledge equals experiences multiplied by sensitivity. Concepts like the voter knows best, the customer is always right, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder became central tenets. However, humanism wasn't monolithic. It fractured into competing sects. Liberal humanism emphasized individual experience and freedom. Socialist humanism focused on collective experience and criticized liberalism for ignoring social structures and inequality. Evolutionary humanism, drawing on Darwin, argued that some human experiences and humans are superior to others, leading to ideas about conflict driving progress and culminating in ideologies like Nazism. The 20th century witnessed a brutal war between these humanist sects, from which liberalism emerged battered but victorious after the Cold War. So, humans invented meaning through stories, solidified these with writing and money, then struck a deal trading cosmic meaning for scientific power, and finally found a new source of meaning within human experience itself, via humanism. This humanist framework, particularly its liberal variant, now dominates our world, driving our pursuit of more power, longer lives, and greater happiness. But can humanism withstand the very forces it has unleashed? Let's examine the challenges in the final part. In the final part, Harari argues that the very success of humanism and its drive to achieve immortality, bliss, and divinity through science is now undermining its own foundations. 21st century science, particularly biology and computer science, challenges the core liberal beliefs in free will and individualism. Liberalism values individual liberty because it assumes humans have free will, an authentic self making independent choices. But neuroscience suggests our choices are the product of biochemical algorithms in the brain, either deterministic or random, but never truly free. Brain scanners can even predict decisions before we're consciously aware of making them. If there's no free will, the basis for liberal democracy and free markets starts to crumble. Similarly, science challenges the idea of a single, indivisible individual. Studies of split-brain patients reveal competing centers of control. Behavioral economics shows conflicts between our experiencing self, moment-to-moment consciousness, and our narrating self, the storyteller constructing our identity and making major decisions, often based on flawed memories like the peak-end rule. If we are not truly individuals but dividuals, collections of conflicting algorithms, who is the self that liberalism cherishes? These philosophical challenges gain practical teeth through technology. Three main threats emerge. First, humans might lose their economic and military usefulness, as non-conscious but highly intelligent algorithms outperform humans in more tasks. From driving cars and diagnosing cancer to trading stocks and even composing music, a massive useless class might emerge. Intelligence is decoupling from consciousness, and the system values intelligence, not necessarily conscious experience. Second, Even if humans remain useful collectively, the system might not need unique individuals. External algorithms, fed by constant streams of biometric data from wearables and implants, could soon know us better than we know ourselves. We might willingly cede authority to algorithms like Google or Cortana for decisions about health, careers, and even relationships, because they make better choices based on data, not the flawed narratives of our narrating self. Authority shifts from humans to algorithms. Third, technology might split humankind into biological castes. While medicine historically aimed to heal the sick, an egalitarian project, it's now increasingly focused on upgrading the healthy, an elitist project. Genetic engineering and bioenhancements could create a small elite of upgraded superhumans, leaving the unenhanced majority far behind, destroying the liberal premise of fundamental human equality. As humanism falters under these pressures, Harari identifies the rise of new techno-religions. Techno-humanism seeks to use technology to upgrade Homo sapiens into Homo Deus, preserving human agency but enhancing capabilities. A more radical alternative is dataism, which sees the entire universe as data flows and organisms as biochemical algorithms. Dataism values information flow above all, viewing human experiences as valuable only for their contribution to data processing. Its ultimate goal might be the creation of an all-encompassing data processing system, the Internet of All Things, into which humans might merge or become obsolete. Harari concludes by posing critical questions. Are organisms really just algorithms? Is intelligence more valuable than consciousness? And what happens when algorithms know us better than we know ourselves? The answers will shape the future of life itself. So Homo Deus presents a sweeping and often unsettling vision of humanity's potential future. Harari masterfully connects our deep past, our evolutionary origins, and our unique ability to cooperate through fiction to the present dominance of humanist ideals. He shows how the modern covenant, trading meaning for power via science and growth, has brought unprecedented success in overcoming age-old struggles. However, the book's core warning is that the very tools and values driving this success, the relentless pursuit of power, happiness, and life extension through technology, guided by the belief in individual human experience, are now poised to dismantle the humanist worldview. The potential decoupling of intelligence from consciousness, the rise of algorithms that understand us better than we understand ourselves, and the possibility of biological stratification threaten the liberal pillars of free will, individualism, and equality. Harari doesn't offer definitive predictions but presents compelling, data-driven possibilities. He forces us to confront the profound consequences of our own ingenuity. Will we engineer our own irrelevance? Will authority shift from conscious humans to non-conscious algorithms? Will the pursuit of godhood lead to the end of humanity as we know it, replaced by Homo Deus, or absorbed into a cosmic data flow? The lasting message is one of urgent reflection. The future Harari outlines is not inevitable, but it is plausible. Understanding the forces shaping it, biotechnology, artificial intelligence, and the ideologies that guide them, is crucial if we wish to consciously navigate the path ahead, rather than blindly stumbling towards a post-human destiny. Homo Deus leaves us standing at a profound crossroads, questioning the very essence of what it means to be human in the face of godlike technological power. What do you think? Are you excited or worried about the future Harari describes? Will algorithms eventually know us better than we know ourselves? And should we trust them with our decisions? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this summary insightful, please give it a like and subscribe to Read Wiser for more deep dives into transformative books. Thanks for watching.